Alrighty. We are setting up the live streaming and we are live right now. We're live on YouTube and on social media and all over the place. So we're going to put a quick timer on, ladies and gentlemen. That's your opportunity to check, are your members on? If they're not, give them a buzz. Say, make sure you're on live. Nothing better than being on an event live, much better than a playback. Oop, and oops, that was my bad. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we're just getting set up for today. So what we're going to do is just check where everyone's logging in from before we get the event underway today. I can see people have logged in from Western Australia, New Zealand. Excellent presentation of Neumi. Wonder where you're from though. Las Vegas, Florida, Canada. Nice sunset. Ontario, Indonesia. Welcome, Indonesia. Canada again. Canada are winning today. Phoenix, Arizona. And yes, always good to watch the playback as well. Indonesia, Florida just pulled up, and Louisiana. Welcome online, ladies and gentlemen. Today's going to be a fantastic session. You know what? We get feedback from the field about different events, and we get ideas about different events that we can run. And today's event, I've got to tell you that our wonderful crown, which is I'm just bring my slides up, which is Karen Justice, came up with a brilliant idea. Now, why are we running this event? Well, you know what? Neumi's been going now for 4 years. We just had our 4th anniversary. For me, we found the investors for this thing nearly 8 years ago. So it's an 8-year journey already for us. Having said that, Neumi's still a ground floor opportunity. Okay. And that was the name of this topic today. So if you've got a pen and paper, I'd encourage you to get them out because you're really going to want to make sure you take notes on everything that's said today. So what would make Neumi still a brand new ground floor opportunity worldwide, even though we've been going for 4 years? Well, you may have heard a while back, Karen Justice covered off what's called the S-curve in the industry. And this, literally, I pulled this offline just minutes ago before starting the session. And they talk about at the early stages of a company, the startup phase, it's slow growth. It's exciting, but it's also where you get the most arrows in your back. Why? The wheels fall off things. You try certain things that don't work. You try the things that don't work, and you're perfecting your system. So in here, it is really perfecting the systems, okay? And so we've been through that. Now, ignore the years there because I think in reality, we're 4 years old, but you could probably pull it right back here. We're just starting the concentration zone. And concentration zone is where legacies are built. Because if you get involved when we're in the momentum phase, you've already missed some of the momentum, okay? Now, we are pre-momentum now, even though we've had phenomenal growth, and sometimes you'll see us post about, wow, look at all this momentum. We haven't scratched the scratch of the surface yet. Let me give you some statistics that'll blow your mind. Firstly, did you know we're in 74 countries? I know you do. Well, did you know the population of those 74 countries is about 2.5 billion? We've got 200,000 members. We haven't scratched the scratch of 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 the scratch surface yet. Not even anywhere near that. Not only that, we've launched a new product pretty much every year over the last 4 years. And every time we launch a new product, what happens? There's a whole heap of excitement again about a brand new market. In fact, did you know the hair health market is $93 billion. That's what we just added to the repertoire for you guys only weeks ago. And it's estimated to be 128 billion by 2034. Oh, it's going to, nearly a third, fourth quarter bigger again. Not only that, the fact that we have a product that to this very day, 4 years later, despite what someone might think, if they go, oh, we have a product like you, and I go, how big's your cell size? How big's your molecule size? And they go, what do you ask? Well, is it under 10 nanometers? No, sorry. It's access only to the cells at 10 nanometers. Everybody else is on the outside knocking on the door. Can I come in? Can I come in? No other products can access that in the same way. So there's nobody competing with us yet in the market as well. Not only that, I showed you that S-curve a second ago. Often companies determine a system through trial and error over the first 4 or 5 years before they implement a system. Now, if you don't know this, Neumi was smart. when we say we're field driven, they allowed field leaders to create the system, the Neumi 123 system that's in every language across the world and duplicated everywhere before we opened the doors, putting us in the box seat again, where we had something that no other companies have. Now, I'm telling you this too because it's a very competitive market out there, and there's some fantastic products, some fantastic companies. No one's paying as much as we do in commissions because it's impossible for a traditional nutrition company to compete. I don't know if you know this. If you take a kilogram of an ingredient and then you make capsules, you'll make 200 to 400 bottles of product, and you've got to work out your profitability. If you take a kilogram of ingredient, use hydrostat, none of it's wasted down the toilet, and we can make about 10,000 bottles according to Steve Scott. Boom, we're in profit in the first 12 months, not drawing any more investor funds. We are in such great shape. It is absolutely phenomenal. So as we get this S-curve kicking in, right now, I would hazard to guess, my opinion is we are right here, just beginning in the concentration zone. But you can see momentum has really hit back again. And look, all companies go through this. And what do they say? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. About a year and a half ago, when ex-ego transition happened, let's just say the momentum was like this, but we kept doing this. We grew. And I remember looking at the graph going, despite the wheels falling off technology-wise, we kept growing, which is like, how did that happen? Product so good, compensation plan so good, system so good, leadership so good. And that's what kept us growing. So despite all odds, they couldn't stop this thing from growing. Now, I can see the trajectory is starting to curve up again. And I have tracked my business since the very day we launched, and I won't show you the whole graph, but I can show you this one. And I said to Aaron and corporate the other day, I said, we had our biggest month. The company did, and I'm not at liberty to publish their figures because it's a private company, but I know that I've got about 100,000 members in this team out of 200,000, so you could hazard a guess and say I'm probably half of the volume. And I can tell you that my graph mirrors what the company's is. So this is my graph, and it just shows that we've had our biggest month ever, and it's only just happened, which is phenomenal. So keep in mind when you're looking at this, and then you're looking at that, why things are going so well. Now, with that in mind, we've asked various leaders at different ranks around the world if they could share with us their opinions. Now, the challenge is for a company in 74 markets is that unfortunately, everyone has a different language. Welcome to my world. I operate on translation app almost 24/7 these days with teams across the world in different countries. And so Marco volunteered to come in and give his perspective. He's our newest triple diamond. And what we were able to do with one of our apps that we've discovered the other day is quite quickly put on some very easy to understand captions. So aside from what you might have in captions, watching it back on YouTube and or in different languages and or watching it on or reading along with closed captions now, on the screen will be the English captions for everybody watching. So have a quick listen to what Marco had to say.
Hola, hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estáis, queridísima familia Neumi? Os saluda Marco Boy desde España. Espero que estéis teniendo un excelente mes de agosto, de descanso, de vacaciones o de trabajo, lo que estéis haciendo. Y sobre todo también quiero aprovechar para felicitar a todas las personas que habéis alcanzado rangos en este mes de julio. Sabéis que ha sido el mes de mayor producción en toda la historia de Neumi y eso realmente me hace muy feliz. Ver cómo seguimos creciendo, cómo estamos enfocados en el crecimiento y sumando nuevas personas cada día a este maravilloso proyecto. Y os quiero hacer hoy una reflexión, viendo también que hemos tenido este crecimiento tan importante, esta evolución en ventas tan grande. Muchas personas todavía me consultan, me preguntan si es un buen momento ahora entrar al negocio de Neumi. Y realmente a mí me hace gracia esta pregunta porque yo creo que realmente Neumi todavía no ha hecho más que empezar. O sea, yo pienso, mi visión es que no estamos todavía ni siquiera comenzando. Yo personalmente lo percibo en mi entorno. Una de las sensaciones que tengo, punto uno, es que el glutatión como producto principal, nuestro NutriSwiss, todavía no podemos decir ni siquiera que haya una pequeña introducción en el mercado. Estamos en ese proceso de introducción en el mercado. El glutatión tiene muchísimo margen todavía de crecimiento a nivel mundial. Aún más, evidentemente, la tecnología Hidrastat, que prácticamente todavía es una grandísima desconocida a nivel mundial. Yo recuerdo que empecé hace algo más de 2 años, empecé a finales de mayo del 2023, en el cual solamente teníamos dos productos, el NutriSwiss y el Skin, y ya cada producto individual, a mí ya directamente me parece que con cada producto ya se puede crear un modelo de negocio único. Cada uno de los productos que tenemos ya es un modelo de negocio único y tener el regalo que tenemos, todos los productos que tenemos en este momento, porque empecé con dos productos, ahora aquí en Europa tenemos cuatro productos y sabemos que hay un producto más, todavía un quinto producto en Estados Unidos y Canadá y México, que es el HERS. Y cada producto individualmente, repito, que es ya directamente un modelo de negocio único y exclusivo, que se podría realmente crear, ¿no? Entonces, por eso, cuando alguien me pregunta si es un buen momento, yo lo que puedo decirte desde aquí es que siento que es mejor momento incluso que cuando yo empecé, porque al principio sí es cierto que había muchas cosas que se estaban creando, que se estaban formando y habían ciertas dificultades que ahora se han solucionado. Entonces, ahora es un mucho mejor momento, sigue siendo el momento de oportunidad todavía, pero hay mejor momento porque hay ciertas cosas que antes no estaban que tenemos ahora. Hay ciertos productos que antes no habían que ahora sí que están. Por esto estoy percibiendo que dentro de mi entorno, del equipo con el que trabajo, hay personas que están consiguiendo los rangos mucho más rápido de lo que lo conseguimos nosotros en su día. Rangos que han costado un año y medio, ahora hay personas que lo están consiguiendo entre 6 y 9 meses. ¿Qué quiere decir esto? Que evidentemente la oportunidad es mucho más potente ahora, hay muchos más testimonios, hay mucha más estabilidad, sin embargo, todavía el producto es innovador, es un gran desconocido todavía a nivel global. Yo lo veo cada día, repito, en mi entorno. Nadie conoce Neumi, nadie conoce la tecnología de hidrastat, o sea, el campo todavía es enorme, se ha hecho mucho desde nuestro punto de vista, pero realmente se ha hecho muy poco en lo que es el mercado. Está todo absolutamente por hacer y eso realmente es ilusionante. Las personas que ya conocen la tecnología se quedan con ella, realmente es el porcentaje de fidelidad que tenemos es altísimo y la tasa de personas nuevas que entran al negocio cada día es increíble. Por eso puedo decir que tenemos el mejor momento ahora en este cuarto aniversario, es el mejor momento sin duda por la tecnología, que es una gran desconocida todavía a nivel mundial, por la gran oportunidad de productos que tenemos en este momento. Cada uno en su área es único y exclusivo y repito que se podría montar un modelo de negocio con cada uno de los productos que tenemos en este momento. Por eso os invito a todas las personas que veáis esta grabación o que veáis esta información, que toméis acción porque realmente estamos sin duda alguna en el mejor momento para iniciar nuestro negocio en Neumi. Así que os mando un saludo para todos desde España y espero que nos veamos muy pronto en el crucero o en los próximos eventos que vamos a realizar. Un saludo a todos y que tengáis un bonito día. Gracias.
Alrighty. So, what was the biggest thing that you heard from what he just said there? I picked up a few things. What I did notice that my live streaming seemed to fail somewhere, but that's all right. We'll just make sure that we pick it up later. So, what did you guys think? Numi ticked all the boxes. Yes, I saw that one in the chat. One of the biggest things he said is that Numi's still unheard of. So he backed up exactly what I just said a minute ago. There's 2.5 billion people across 74 countries. No one's heard of what we're doing yet. He also has talked about the fact that a new product opens up a brand new market absolutely every time. So every time we bring in a new product, and we will continue to do that, there'll be brand new products coming in next year and the year after and so forth, because Hydrostat allows us flexibility to do lots of things. When we first launched, we were just about glutathione. Now we're about brain health. Now we're about women's health. Now we're about hair health. And glutathione's one ingredient that we nanosize and deliver in a way nobody else can do. So we've got no competitors in that space. But we will continue to expand into pretty much anything you can actually dream of. So, what other things did you pick up from what he just said? Type it into the chat. And what we're going to do now is, aside from having listened to his feedback there, we also have live, and I know how hard it is to read what we just read there. We're going to have Juanita Santillan, a good friend who's a double diamond Chicago, who also pioneered Mexico. But she's also my Latin American dance coach, and I'm like Steady Eddie, for those Aussies know what that means. Um, and so she had a lot on her plate trying to teach me how to Latin dance. I've got to tell you that. Now, when I watch, one of my favorite programs on Netflix is Narcos, which is about Pablo Escobar and all that sort of stuff. But you really got to pay attention because I've got to read what they're saying in Spanish the whole time through the whole thing. So it's a little hard on the brain. So we thought we'd break it up today by having a recording. We had to read it, then a live person, then a recording, then a live person. So with that in mind, I'd love to welcome on Juanita. And Juanita, can you share from your perspective, why do you think Neumi is still a grand floor opportunity?
Thank you so much, Michael. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you, Numi family. What is so exciting for me, for Numi being a ground floor opportunity, that it's a golden opportunity. And I had a brick and mortar business 30 years, and I went home thinking, now I'm ready for a global business. So as I share our business with many people, and I tell them that I have a global business, they're all ears. So talk about ground floor, we still are. Choose your country. Where do you want to start? I started 3 years ago in Mexico. Yes, we had an anti-aging conference with medical doctors. We sponsored over 100 medical doctors in one weekend, selling thousands of dollars in a weekend. That was amazing. And so you begin to choose which country would you like to concentrate in. You want to concentrate in your hometown? That's perfect. If you noticed, most people know nothing about Numi, the technology, the products we have. So begin to choose. Last month, I went to Peru and I decided, well, now it's time to open up another Latin American country. And I went there and we opened it up. We had a big turnout and we're sponsoring some huge leaders there. So, what I want to tell you is take a look at that globe and choose which country do I want to focus on. And that is your golden opportunity to be you may not be the first one, but you'll be successful because most people have not heard of our technology. And that's the other thing that makes us unique. And it'll be the ground floor all the time. Wherever I go, I like to talk about the hydrostat molecular encapsulation delivery system, especially being a naturopath and knowing that I've been selling supplements that never went into the cells. And now I have a powerful supplement, five of them that go directly into your cell. That's big. And the third thing that I really am excited about being ground floor in Numi is the fact that every time we have a new product, like Michael said, it's a huge, huge market. The hair market being a $93 billion industry, that's huge. So who are you going to talk to? Well, I'm thinking of my hairdresser. I'm thinking of all the spas. So now you begin to make a list. And I was talking to my diamond yesterday and I told her, well, what do you think about the hair product? She says, I love it. And look at my new hair. I just love it. I just love the fullness and everything. And most of us who have used it love it. So we all are going to begin to share it with everyone we know. So I'm excited about every time we have a new product to think in terms of who we will talk to, because my diamond Lydia says, I have a list of all these hair salons I'm going to go visit. So who will you visit? We are definitely in a ground floor opportunity. Thank you so much, Michael and Numi
Beautifully.
family.
Very, very well said. And you reminded me of something too. It's funny. Sometimes for me, and if you do all the strategies we've taught you guys in terms of creating an everlasting list using social media, etc., you'll never ever run out of lists. In fact, there are people who are in my circle of contacts that I've never approached about Numi. Why? Things are humming without having to speak to every single person, right? I did launch at the early stages, but I found myself the other day talking to my barber about the new hair product. And I was involved in the early iteration of one of the first ones, and he was a bit skeptical about it. Anyway, we had a bit of a chat, and I talked about a bit about the hydrostat stuff, but I had no intention of trying to sponsor the guy or whatever. I just wanted to keep that as a clean relationship, if you like, where I don't talk about the business. But unfortunately, I found out that he was a CrossFit person, and he asked about our other product, and now he and his father, who's in his 60s, is now using our product on what we call the sports performance trail. You'll hear about that at the end of the call. And boom, we've just expanded our business as well. So we spoke about hair, ended up talking about CrossFit, and now we've got someone using our product for sports performance. You never know where it's going to go. So thank you, Juanita. That was beautiful. Now, moving on, around the world, there are many leaders. And this gentleman here, about, I think it was 10, 11 months ago, reached out. He was way down the bottom underneath lots and lots of other people in the group. And he just said, Michael, can we have a chat? And I ended up connecting at the very bottom of a leg with some great people. And Marius has a lot of experience. You'll hear that. And like Juanita, he's been successful in conventional business too. So you can compare conventional business to a Neumi model and why we're ground floor right now. And he's also brought in some leaders who are some of the biggest networkers in the whole of Europe that are building right now, some names that are just phenomenal. So that's an exploding part of the business, as we know, in Poland, with lots of other, I don't want to forget, there are lots of other people who've gone diamond, double diamond. It's just, that's the place to be right now in Poland. So with that in mind, have a listen to what Marius has to say. Now, I find Polish is a bit harder to understand and listen to when you're looking at the words, so be really paying attention to reading what's written at the bottom of the screen.
Dzień dobry, witam. Nazywam się Mariusz Bujnorowski i chciałbym Wam powiedzieć, że co kilkanaście lat w branży marketingu sieciowego pojawia się nowa firma, która wyróżnia się na tle konkurencji i mocno zaczyna zdobywać rynek. Ja w branży marketingu jestem 19 lat, już ponad 19 lat i miałem swój wielki sukces, bo wybudowałem organizację składającą się z prawie 30 000 osób. Co jest ważne, z góry od moich upline'ów nie otrzymałem ani jednej osoby. Uważam, że to jest bardzo kluczowe. Także możecie zapytać, dlaczego tam nie jestem, tak? Jak to w każdej dziedzinie życia dzieją się też brzydkie rzeczy, tam się też takie wydarzyły, ale to też w biznesie klasycznym takie się dzieją, tak? Moje doświadczenie, jeżeli chodzi o biznes klasyczny, to jest tak, że miałem 5 różnych działalności gospodarczych. Był to hurtowy handel warzywami, owocami, miałem firmę transportową, sprowadzałem róże z Ekwadoru, miałem małą gastronomię, też byłem właścicielem giełdy kryptowalut, ale chcę Wam powiedzieć, że w porównaniu do marketingu sieciowego, bo równorzędnie, tak jak tu robiłem właśnie te biznesy klasyczne, to równorzędnie też działałem w marketingu sieciowym i moje zdanie jest takie, i moje doświadczenie, że MLM jest dużo lepszy niż biznes klasyczny. I teraz ja Neumi postrzegam jako wielką szansę biznesową, której obecnie jeszcze, tak jak rozmawiam z kolegami z branży i koleżankami, to 99% ludzi jeszcze tego nie dostrzega. A dlaczego nie dostrzega? Dlatego, że jest im wygodnie tam, gdzie mają i jest to dla mnie oczywiście zrozumiałe, ale wszystko się zmienia. Jedyna stała to zmienna i dlatego oni też już coraz bardziej zaczynają się temu przyglądać, tej wielkiej szansie biznesowej, jaką jest właśnie Neumi. I jeśli mogę, to dałbym taką jedną radę wszystkim ludziom, którzy działają w Neumi w przeróżnych krajach na całym świecie. Żeby być wytrwałym, pomimo przeróżnych problemów, dalej być konsekwentnym, działać, być zdyscyplinowanym co do swoich działań w Neumi, bo ja jestem przekonany, że na przestrzeni 2-3 lat my po prostu eksplodujemy, jeżeli chodzi o obroty. Wszędzie tam, gdzie ludzie działają, to po prostu będziemy mieć bardzo duże przyrosty do naszych organizacji, a to wszystko się dzieje za sprawą tego, że po prostu mamy tak niesamowite produkty, że ludzie coraz częściej już ich używają, coraz więcej ludzi tego używa. I to po prostu będzie taka, na moje, że tak powiem, spostrzeżenia, wielka szansa dla tych ludzi, którzy naprawdę mają otwarte umysły. Także dziękuję bardzo, pozdrawiam, Mariusz Bujnarowski.
Alrighty, so there you go. Who was able to read along with that? But I got the gist and the message of what he actually said. And it's interesting too. One of the key things he said in there, and I want to cover this because I think it's important. Marius has a lot of experience in the industry, so he didn't come in fresh going, what's network marketing? He understood network marketing and been successful before. And he said, no one has put anyone in his business. I'm going to say the same. And I say this with no expectation, because sometimes people get in a binary and the expectation is my upline is going to put people in my team. And that is a welfare mentality. It's not a leadership mentality. I had someone in my downline say to me once, when are you going to put someone in my team? And I said, well, now that you've asked, you're probably the last person I'm going to put someone in the team, because I've put them in other teams where no one asked, because it's not considered something that's an expectation, because it's not a binary. It's about everyone's building their own team. I've had no one put in my team from Alex, and I don't expect it. I didn't need it, and I don't. If he does it, it'll be a bonus. Not needed, right? So we need to build independent leaders who understand that if it is to be, it's up to me. It's not about someone doing it for me and putting people under us. So I think that's another reason it's a good opportunity for us as Ground Floor, because there is some binaries out there at the moment, and binaries are, tend to be where fraud happens. And fraud meaning the company will silently take someone and put them above an established team and say, listen, you're just going to build the other leg now, and then you'll be a diamond. Truth is, that's a cubic zirconia. And I bring this up because it's man-made. It's not a real diamond. There's no real leadership there when someone has a leg given to them like that and builds the other. And I say this because when we're running this session called Neumi Still Ground Floor Opportunity, there is a couple of companies out there at the moment where they've actually tried to give some backhanders to some of our leaders to buy them to go to the company, and they've said, no deal. The real leaders said, no deal. And look, will companies like that survive? Sure, but they'll probably end up burning out like other companies. And I won't mention their name, but a very big one hit $1 billion very fast and then collapsed later from doing those sorts of actions. So it's important to have integrity in the way we build our business as well, not just be the fastest growing, but also be the one that does it the right way. Now, I love the fact that I wear two hats. Founding advisory board member with the company, helped start it. I have to, for the greater good, work with everybody, for everyone. Now, I also understand I have my other hat, which is my team, and I don't try and give conflicting advice or coach people cross line, but I do love the Neumi family and working with people cross line for the greater good in the right environment. And one of those people got to know recently is Peter Rayner. Peter and Eden Dynamic, his team have just become double diamonds. He's from Oregon. But he's also building right throughout Europe and around the world as well. So with that in mind, I've also asked Peter to come on as one of the newest double diamonds and give his perspective. Now, I'm going to say this for him, right? He's a beautiful guy. And he said, I'm going to try and speak this in English all the way through, but Michael, be patient with me because it's not my first language. So be very patient, but you're going to hear some pearls of wisdom from Peter. So over to you, Peter.
Thank you so much, Michael. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all my business partners in the 74 countries who are part of the Neumi family. I am very happy to be here to you today, and a special thank you to Michael for inviting me. So your question was why Neumi is a grant for opportunity? I have so many reasons, but we don't have so much time. So I just want to give you 3 reasons for this way I see it. So the first reason, what I see, the technology. The second one is the timing, and the third is the professional logistic. So let's talk about that first. To better understand the present, we need to look back to a little into the past. Okay? So do you remember Kodak for many years? For sorry.
Sorry, guys. Hang on a sec.
No worries, no worries.
That happened accidentally. Go for it.
No problem. So I can talk to you, Mike. Do you remember Kodak? Probably you remember because you are professional. So for many years, Kodak was a number of the photography brand in the world, and everyone used Kodak. But where is Kodak today? They did not move with the new digital technology. So other companies changed, and Kodak was left behind. So here is another example, because we need to understand a little bit. In 2007, Apple introduced the first touchscreen iPhone. At that time, Motorola, BlackBerry, and Nokia had stronger software and many more phones. But the people loved the new user experience. And in just a few years, almost everyone changed it to the smartphones. So my conclusion is this: every new technology eventually cannibalize and replace the old one. So that's why I think so Neumi, with this breaking through nanohydrostat technology, is the true ground floor opportunity. So those who move early with the new technology, I think, can become the new leaders. So thank you for Stephen Scott and Ryan Scott. And the second big reason and very important argument is the timing. Probably you remember Amway started in 1959, Forever Living product in 1978, and Nu Skin is the 1984. So my first company, by the way, in this industry was Forever Living. I was both a customer and a distributor there. And today, according to internet data, Forever has about 9.3 million people who use the product and also sell them. 9.3 million. These are great companies still working after many years with millions of people, but let's compare. So Neumi is different, I think so. Right now, in 2025, there are only about 200,000 people registered in the whole world. That means we are still at the very beginning. This is why timing, I think so, is so powerful, because we can always learn and the business skills, but we can never bring back this moment in time. Today we have the chance to the part of the Neumi at the ground floor before millions others join. So here I would like to thank also for Chris and Sergio, his help and workout behind the wall and this timing, and we can build this empire. So, and the third reason, also what is very strong reason, the logistic. I thank for Aero Rennert, because for me the internet is one of the big shared marketplace. And I would compare into the United States. I don't know if it's a good example or not, but the only difference is that here the languages create the borders. But if you are smart with artificial intelligence, is even this no longer problem. So as I far as know, Aaron made it possibility already in this early stage that we can do business with this product family in 74 countries. That means I can build not only the purchasing power on my own country, but also on the purchasing power in 73 different countries or 73 other countries. This is amazing, something that before was only possible with digital product, but not with physical product. I can almost say the United States of Neumi, this business for me. Can I give you other two reasons, Michael? Do I have one more or 2 more minutes?
Absolutely. I'm loving this.
Okay. I think with this technology, we are not in the red ocean with many competitors. We are in the blue ocean, where is Neumi unique. That means we have clear USP, like unique selling proposition, something no other company can offer today. This makes our opportunity, I think, even stronger. So thank you so much, and God bless Neumi family.
Fantastic. You know what? Larry Wilson typed in, this guy's all phenomenal, and I agree. And someone else typed in the chat, Jacqueline just said, your English is perfectly understandable. And I totally agree with that too. That was clear as anything. In fact, I love the analogy you talked about with smartphones and what happened there. Because when we launched, I said 8 years ago, I helped Steve find the investors for this, and we went traditional retail first before Neumi launched, after 4 years. But I can tell you that when we put the first video script together, which says, remember when, this was the best delivery method for music, it was to do the same thing, to get people to realize that industries evolve. They're almost the words there probably are the words in there from the script, remember. Industries evolve and progress with new technologies, and that's what we did. The previous company that I was with for many years that had a glutathione precursor was a phenomenal product. Nothing negative to say, even to this very day, about their product. Now it's outdated, it's old, it's not as effective, and it's double the price. But in its day, it was phenomenal. The compensation plan, because they are a company making capsules, can't possibly compete. So they're paying about half what we do in commissions. So all of the reasons that Peter said are so valid. So now, to mix it up, because I said you've got to read, then you'll get to hear it properly, then you've got to read again. This beautiful lady just hit diamond. This is Andriel out of France, but she's building throughout Europe. In fact, I was blown away because I didn't realize she also had a team in Taiwan, which is where I've been building with some big leaders over there. So it just shows you it is a true international business. So have a listen to what Anne has to say.
Alors, pourquoi Neumi est une opportunité de premier ordre, selon moi? Eh bien, au-delà du fait que nous sommes déjà dans 74 pays, que la compagnie a 4 ans, qu'on compte plus de 220 000 membres, au-delà du fait qu'on ait un produit totalement novateur, inégalé, avec des produits qui sont révolutionnaires, qui viennent apporter une vraie valeur à l'ensemble des personnes qui le prennent, puisqu'on peut voir des résultats incroyables, époustouflants, des transformations. Alors c'est vrai qu'il va permettre de changer la vie des gens au niveau santé physique, au niveau santé mentale, au niveau santé financière. C'est quelque chose que l'on voit maintenant, nous, depuis 4 ans, 2 ans et demi en francophonie, euh, de manière très régulière. Voilà, c'est des choses que l'on a compris et que l'on voit tous les jours. Mais pour moi, Neumi est une opportunité de premier ordre parce qu'elle fédère et elle attire à elle des personnes absolument incroyables. Elle attire des gens de qualité, elle attire des gens qui ont envie de se remettre en cause, elle attire des gens qui ont envie d'améliorer, de donner leur meilleur potentiel et d'aider un maximum de gens à améliorer leur vie. Alors c'est vrai que cette opportunité, elle nous amène à nous dépasser, elle nous donne envie de nous dépasser. On arrive dans Neumi, on découvre le produit, on est fasciné, on est interpellé en se disant waouh, mais qu'est-ce que c'est que ce produit? Et tous ces gens, mais c'est incroyable, on est entouré de gens magnifiques, de gens vraiment avec de grandes qualités. Et en fait, on est porté par quelque chose de plus grand que nous pour pouvoir le partager de plus en plus et quotidiennement. On est porté par l'envie de se dépasser, par l'envie d'apporter sa meilleure contribution, l'envie d'aider nos équipes, mais l'envie aussi d'aider d'autres équipes, d'aider d'autres partenaires à travers le monde à ce que chacun puisse répandre ce produit au plus grand nombre, puisque c'est vraiment quelque chose qui est bien plus grand que nous et qui amène tant de bonheur, de bien-être, tant de régénérescence, on est absolument séduit et porté par cette envie que tout le monde puisse le prendre. Donc, au-delà de vouloir travailler pour nous, pour soi, pour son équipe, on a envie d'aider tout le monde. On a envie d'être connecté à cette famille et c'est vraiment la force de Neumi pour moi, selon moi. C'est que peu importe où on se trouve dans le monde, on est tous ensemble. Et j'ai vraiment la sensation qu'on est tous autour de la Terre et qu'on a tous comme un flambeau qu'on illumine. Et on vient illuminer, on vient réveiller, on vient apporter notre meilleure contribution, notre meilleur potentiel et on vient amener beaucoup plus de lumière, de joie, de légèreté sur cette terre. Et pour moi, c'est ça ma vision, c'est quelque chose de magnifique, c'est quelque chose qui nous donne des ailes. On a envie que tout le monde puisse y participer, que tout le monde puisse en bénéficier. Et alors c'est vrai que la particularité de Neumi, c'est qu'on peut réussir, il n'y a aucune limite, on peut aller loin. On nous donne la possibilité d'utiliser le produit, de le partager. C'est simple, c'est très très simple à utiliser. On a des outils qui sont révolutionnaires aussi pour le partager dans toutes les langues, puisque moi là je me trouve à Dublin en ce moment pour performer en anglais, pour être beaucoup plus à l'aise. J'ai des personnes qui viennent d'Italie, d'Espagne, d'Allemagne, du Japon, de Taïwan, d'un peu partout autour de la Terre, et je peux partager cette opportunité avec toutes les personnes. Ça m'arrive dans la même journée de présenter l'opportunité à quelqu'un qui vit en Allemagne ou quelqu'un qui vit en Espagne et puis qui est à Taïwan, et j'envoie les infos, et c'est vrai que c'est quelque chose de très très simple à partager. Donc cette opportunité, Neumi, elle est absolument incroyable puisqu'elle fait du bien aux gens. Elle aide à avoir une meilleure vie elle nous aide aussi à nous exprimer dans notre meilleur potentiel pour pouvoir être vraiment nous-mêmes. Moi, je sais que j'ai souvent dit régulièrement hein, quand on a des reconnaissances que j'étais enfin chez moi. j'ai l'impression d'avoir enfin trouvé ma maison. Bah oui, c'est ça, c'est vraiment enfin, je me sens à ma place, à pouvoir exprimer qui je suis, à pouvoir donner le meilleur de moi-même et avoir cette sensation que je peux enfin aider les gens à la hauteur de ce que j'ai toujours voulu, à travers donc cette opportunité, la transmettre, mais aussi à travers le coaching, à travers l'accompagnement, à travers l'aide, et puis le fait moi-même de devoir me dépasser, puisque je me rends bien compte que si je veux aider un maximum de gens, eh bien je dois lâcher plein de choses. Qui m'appartient et que je ne veux plus justement qui m'appartiennent. Je dois lâcher plein de choses sur tout ce qui a été mes propres difficultés, mes challenges, pour justement arriver à être dans un niveau où je peux fédérer et attirer encore plus de gens. Donc voilà, je suis vraiment toujours émue à chaque discours quand Stephen Scott nous remercie et fédère et sur le fait que justement les qualifications ne sont que la reconnaissance du fait que l'on ait partagé le produit au plus grand nombre. Et rien que pour ça, en fait, réussir dans une entreprise, c'est gratifiant parce que oui, avec Neumi, on change la vie des gens. Et c'est pour cette raison que moi, je la vois loin et je la vois longtemps avec nous, et en tout cas dans ma vie, et que j'ai à cœur qu'elle puisse continuer à être partagée au plus grand nombre et qu'on puisse la voir d'une manière infinie avec nous sur notre chemin. Voilà ma vision et pourquoi Neumi est une opportunité de premier ordre.
Beautiful. You know what I love is all the different personalities, different people, genders as well. Like what I love there is sometimes, and I say this, I'm not saying us guys are heartless, but sometimes listening to a lady in the business, you hear more about connecting here with people. And so what I heard clearly through Anne just then was Numi is a family. Numi is a way of making a difference. Numi is about substance, not hype. And some companies out there, the ones that try and steal your people and then they come running back when they realize there's no greener pastures, are usually about, oh, get in first, get in now. Oh, your technology is just a liposomal. Oh, okay, bit disappointing. Oh, your compensation plan pays upfront high, but then on the back end's paying crap, and you're only paying 38 cents in the dollar. Oh, okay. So they come back when they realize this is a company of substance. Now, on that note, I'm just going to show something to you because I moved the slide around. That slide, just because I wanted to cover it again. I saw when I was on Facebook, and by the way, it looks like the Facebook live stream died halfway through, but that's okay because guess what? That's why we're live streaming on YouTube. So that's still going, I can see, and we'll bring it back and put it on Facebook for those that missed. But while I was watching the Facebook one, guess what? I saw a beautiful lady who's in the team. And again, driving depth down the bottom, way down through the USA team, through Europe, get back to Greece, then boom, a lady pops out. 40 years experience, been a general manager for a big company, been in the field as a big leader, and Maureen's her name. And Maureen was watching us and she typed in word for word what you said, Peter. Numi is a blue ocean opportunity, meaning the sky's the limit. It's untouched. And for someone with 40 years experience to type that in on Facebook just before edifies that. Why? She also sees this graph. Just a reminder, we're here, guys. We're here. We haven't started yet. We haven't scratched the surface yet, which is just so exciting. So a couple of things. When I was chatting yesterday with Anne, we were talking about different markets, and look, I don't say this in any disrespect because there's so many things to know in this business. But Anne was saying, "What's NFR?" And I explained what NFR means. NFR is not for retail sales. So I was chatting with Chris Fowler just before the event, and I said it'd be a good opportunity because she asked that question to make sure everybody online gets what NFR means. And so what does it mean? NFR means not for retail. So we're in 74 markets, but they're all at different stages. If you look at Indonesia, Indonesia was a fully operational market from day one because it's the only way to legally operate in a country properly in that market. You can't do NFR. You can't have an e-commerce model where people buy online and ship into the country. Genes did that, Isogenics did that, got permanently banned from that country for life, right, for doing it. So we did things the right way. We started properly. Now, other markets, Australia, right? 95% of my business is not in Australia, guys, just so we're clear. But Australia is NFR, not for retail, which means, what does that mean? Well, it means I can't buy this product and then sell it to a non-member, or I can get a $780,000 fine and go to prison. Woo! right? So you don't sell in an NFR market. You've got to be very careful and test. So in a market like Indonesia, which is fully operational, they're going to start doing some really cool initiatives soon, which is like doing product expos and things like that, because they can. In Australia, you can't do that, right? Whereas an NFR market that goes fully operational can. So I tell you that because as soon as the market opens up and goes from NFR to the next stage, boom, another opportunity, right? Not only that, you've heard at Neumi Week, we're going to start to expand the PRP, professional reseller program, into other markets. Boom, that'll be a whole other market as well. So where do you find out where the company is at in different countries and different stages? What do you look at? I'm glad you've asked, so I'm going to show it to you right now, right? If you go to help.neumi.com, you will get to this page here. Now, there's a hyperlink from the website to this, from the back office to this, but you end up in the same place, which is help.neumi.com. And this is where all the announcements are. So if you're wondering about something and you can't get hold of your upline, just go and click on announcements. You'll probably find everything you're looking for. But please write this down. When you're on this page, if you go to the bottom of the page where it says fields, I want you to click that one. When you click fields, the next thing I want you to click is this one, which the word needs updating. It's 74 countries, not 72. But if I click on Neumi expands its presence to 72 countries, and if you're not paying attention, you won't have realized when you read to the very bottom, it says for more information about Neumi and its availability in different regions, please click here. When you do that, it opens up a live Excel spreadsheet that's being updated by Chris very regularly, and you can check where the progress of a market is. So you'll see some say yes, meaning product registration, some say in progress, some say NFR. Okay, so what does it mean? I'll only talk about ones I know I can talk about from a confident perspective. So Indonesia, yes, fully operational, on the ground, delivering there. Indonesia is where the office is, 3 to 8 day deliveries. You can pay standard ways plus a bank deposit, and there's only 2 products there at the moment, but they are working on another one right now. What about Taiwan? Taiwan is currently NFR, but they're in the final process stage of trying to get the product registered. One of our preservatives would not ever get approved in Taiwan, so we're going to have to do some reformulation of something there to get that fully registered. So that might take another 6 months, so just be prepared, 3 to 6. Then if you talked about Australia, it says NFR, not for retail, delivered 3 to 8 days, and the products are shown there, the 3 products we have. Then one thing I stumbled across yesterday was New Zealand is fully operational now. Ta-da! What does that mean? You can do a lot more in New Zealand than you can in Australia. I'm not going to cover that on this call. It's a good conversation for another time. Has that been helpful? Type it in the chat. Did you know that was there? And is that something that would be helpful for you to know when you're going, hey, are we in Singapore, Michael? Go look. If we're in Singapore, Michael, what do we do? Are we NFR? Are we, how long does the delivery take? What products are available? You don't have to ask me every time. You can go to help.neumi.com. You'd be amazed how many even high-ranking leaders have gone, hey, are we open in such and such? Go check that. Didn't know it was there, but I've been asking for it. Good on you. Fantastic, Keith. Right, now let's hop back in because there's been some other announcements as well. So that was the where do I find out where each country is at and what does NFR mean? The next question is, what is True Shield and what does it mean? So True Shield has been announced, not officially. Someone got excited about it. A corporate may have blown the secret, so it's out, right? Chris and I were talking about this morning. We all know someone who we love who can't keep a secret. Anyway, so True Shield's out there. True Shield is the equivalent of NSF, right? NSF, National Sports Federation, I think it was called, would do testing on products to prove categorically that a product has no banned substances and is suitable even for an Olympian. Well, guess what? True Shield was set up by an ex-NFR executive, and it is more rigorous. It is the most rigorous testing facility process in the world for sports. So you can now say confidently, because we're going to make a big deal about it and make an official announcement soon, but Chris told me I could say this because someone sneaked out the secret, that True Shield is there, the alliance is there. And if ever want to look at anything, just go online and I'll show you where it is right now. So this is the home of True Shield and all the details are in there. Now it's not in there, it wasn't in there last time I searched, but it will be there soon where you'll click that and the name Neumi will come up. The other day it wasn't there. Oh no, it is. Ta-da! Holy crap, it's already there. So that is what you can send people to. True Shield, spelled T-R-U, Shield, not two, no E in there, True Shield, certified.com. Okay. Now, why do I share that with you? Because if you go to the official Neumi New You Facebook page, Facebook group, you will see oodles of testimonials lately. You will see plenty of sports ones. Why is that? We kind of knew this was coming. So the Australia New Zealand team have jumped the gun, and we've got lots and lots and lots of athletes from all codes that are given their testimonials, from riding motorbikes professionally, from riding mountain bikes, from extreme runners. We've got a guy right now from New Zealand who is about to ride off-road the entire length of New Zealand in 10 days. What the? I get tired just thinking about that. He's using the Neumi product. He'll be giving us a testimonial. We've got oodles of people in the sports world. So now's the time to approach people in the sports area because there's so much evidence. Now, some of you will be watching that going, why don't you put as many wellness testimonials up? Just so we're clear, and you've already heard this, but if you haven't, please go read the compliance document. You can't affiliate a nutrition product with any medical condition or a disease reference. We encourage all of our members, if you see a post that says anything like that, don't be the compliance police. Just take a screenshot of it like I do, send it on to compliance. They'll reach out to the person and say, please take the testimonial offline, or let's teach you how to use different words. So that you don't say that. For example, corporate made an announcement yesterday I saw that said, hey, did you know you're not allowed to say hair regrowth, hair color comes back, and hair restoration? They're three words you can't say on your testimonials, even though I saw someone yesterday that said, are you bald? Use our product. Can't say that, right? So again, I'm not the compliance police, don't shoot me. But yes, we have so many benefits at the moment of athlete testimonials, hair testimonials, and correctly written wellness testimonials that don't cross that line. So I'm going to encourage all of you. We still have a testimonial competition happening right now, but I'm going to draw the lucky winner right now from the testimonial competition that we've been running. We've been doing a brand new one every single week. And let me just tell you exactly who the winner is. Bear with me, guys, because I'm just bringing it up right now. So in Neumi New You, you'll see oodles and oodles and oodles of testimonials. The latest testimonial that we picked, I'm just trying to find it, is, where did she go? I don't know this lady personally, but her name is, she's from Hungary, and her name is Gabrielle Lucas from Budapest. Gabrielle Lucas from Budapest, you have won a bottle of product. I think it's actually two. It's an essentials kit, and corporate will send that out to you. So Gabrielle Lucas. So I'm telling you this so that you guys in the next 7 days write your testimonial. Now, if you think I put my testimonial in and it's not, I don't know if it's compliant, that's the whole idea. Put it into that group. If compliance reads it and it has the wrong words, they will reject it and they'll send you a message saying, hey, take that testimonial, send it to us at compliance.neumi.com, compliance@neumi.com, and we will suggest how you could write that in a way that doesn't breach any compliance. So it's a great training exercise. And Peter, correct me if I'm wrong, he's going to nod at me. We've been doing a little bit that with his team as well, and they've been rewriting them. And that lady's testimonial that she just won might have said a little bit more in it when it was first submitted to what you've just read that's compliant there right now. And now she's the lucky winner. So everybody wins. So I hope you've enjoyed today's session, guys. It was a lot went into it around the world, and Neumi is definitely a ground floor opportunity. Let's go make it happen.